How One Piece Odyssey fits into the series timeline. One Piece Odyssey is an upcoming console turn-based RPG developed by ILCA Incorporated, published Bandai Namco, and licensed by Shueisha and Toei Animation. The game's title first surfaced in June 2021 when it was filed for trademark, and the game was officially announced on March 28, 2022 as part of One Piece 25th anniversary celebrations. The Straw Hat Pirates shipwreck on a mysterious island, the crew is separated, and Luffy loses his straw hat. Luffy, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, Robin, and Franky ventured onto the island to find Zoro, Nami, and Brook. They wandered into King Kong Garden and saw Nami from a distance, cornered by Adele Kong. Fighting their way through Eisas and Dry Penguins, they arrived at the Del Kong's nest, but before the creature could hurt Nami, Zoro appeared and intervened. When the five elders learn that the Straw Hat Pirates have shipwrecked on Waford, they send a certain person to the island. On Waford, the Straw Hat Pirates meet Adio Suerte, a wandering explorer, and Lim, a young woman with the abilities to steal people's abilities and seal them in a cube. She returns Luffy's straw hat and steals the crew's abilities, dispersing the cube that contains them into pieces. The pirate crew must find their lost abilities and explore Memoria, a world built from their memories. This takes the crew to recreations of Arabasta Kingdom, Water 7, Enies Lobby, Marineford, and Dressrosa, where they encounter familiar friends and foes. While the events of One Piece Odyssey are to be considered non-canon, the story itself can easily slot into a very specific time within the series. Eiichiro Oda and the developers at Bandai Namco began development of One Piece Odyssey roughly around the time that the Whole Cake Island arc was in print in the manga series, and it can be clearly determined by what information has been released that the game's main story takes place around that same time. One major aspect of One Piece Odyssey is the World of Memories system, which will allow players to experience a few major arcs from the canon timeline. It has already been confirmed that one of these arcs is the Dressrosa arc, which immediately precedes the Whole Cake Island arc. The story arc that immediately follows Whole Cake, the Wano arc, included some major changes to the series that make it immediately obvious that One Piece Odyssey happened before Wano, including Luffy being able to access Gear 5 and, more notably, former warlord Jinbe officially joining the Straw Hat crew. Given the fact that Jinbe is not on the roster as a playable character in One Piece Odyssey, it's clear that the game could only take place around the time of Whole Cake. However, since the Straw Hat crew was largely separated from each other for most of the Whole Cake Island arc, especially Sanji, fans can pin down the One Piece Odyssey timeline a bit further. After Dressrosa, the crew made a stop on an island called Zo, and after Zo, the crew splits up for the duration of the Whole Cake Island arc and only fully reunites on the island of Wano. One Piece Odyssey is an RPG that puts players in control of Luffy, the other Straw Hat Pirates, and unannounced characters. Players travel around an island, embarking on quests, exploring dungeons, solving puzzles, and battling creatures in turn-based combat. The main story is 20 to 30 hours in length, with additional side stories and associated quests. During fights, the crew is divided up between active party members and reserve members. All characters receive EXP, regardless of whether they are part of the active party or not. One Piece Odyssey was in development for at least 3 years prior to its public reveal in 2022. The game's producer Katsuaki Suzuki gave a video interview when the game was announced, discussing the inception of the project and Oda's involvement. Eiichiro Oda contributed designs for Adio and different animals, and the art team at ILCA developed the setting and further artwork based on Oda's story and world. The game's soundtrack is composed by Motoi Sakuraba, known for his musical work on the Tales and Dark Souls series.